Hello, test, test, test. Oh yeah, there we go. There's my mic is up again because I had some sort of wackiness with it. Let's go ahead and check. And I have filters on. I don't know why. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and take that noise gate. We'll leave it on there for now. Let's see. Actually, let's go ahead and just turn that off. Filter. Boom. Close. And let's go ahead and get this taken care of now. Let's go ahead and share that out with Twitter. Twitter is still being stupid slow due to their hack, I'm assuming. But you know, it is what it is, I guess. I'll log out. All right. Close this stuff down. Okay. Now let me check my stream here on my phone. See if that stuff is happening. Let me check my stream here. Yes, I'm hearing that. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Seems to be something not right here. Stream current rate is lower than recommended 40. Test, 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 test. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can go ahead and adjust this, because I think what I really probably want is this level. How I got that level. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Oh, there we go. I think that's probably better. Test, 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 test. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can go ahead and adjust this, because I think what I really probably want is this level. How I got that level. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Oh. There we go. I think that's probably better. All right. Get out of my own stream here. Okay. So, thank you for joining me. Today we are going to work on a PC build. I've got an old PC and I've got an old PC that is going to be converted over to a freenas, TrueNas 12. I'm going to take it apart and clean it up and switch the motherboard out into another one. And so we'll get started on that. Give me just one moment. If you feel free to ask questions or talk to me, if you pop on, all good. Here we go. Get my mic over here next to me so we can hear a little bit better. Got my little bit of beverage here. Go ahead and move this out of the way. So, this is what we are going to take and switch out. A little bit of slack in my cord here. Everybody's life is a little bit easier with the microphone in the right spot here. So we will get that going on. So here we are. this is our computer. It is an old AMD computer. You know, it's nothing special. I'm not even sure what it is exactly at the moment, but it has 8 gigs of RAM, which is the minimum for doing what we're doing here. So let me go ahead and just scooch this over a little bit like this so we can see this stuff. So you can see me here, and we're all good. Okay. First things first. Let's just go ahead and get into this guy. So we're going to take the screws out. Let's see if I can get this moved up here a little bit better. Let's move this up a little bit. All right, so that's a little bit higher view here. So let's just go ahead and take some of these screws out. Get a little bit more light over here on this subject. Okay. Here we go. And we're just going to take the screws out of this and take this side off. Oh, forgot one right here. All right. And we just pull that off and boom. All right. So here we are inside of this guy. Let me just drop a little bit more light on here so you can see. There's the motherboard, and we're going to go ahead and pull this off, get down to here. We're going to do some cleaning. You can't tell at the moment, but it's pretty dirty inside there, so we will do our best to get that taken care of. All right. So let's just take this guy out here. Yeah, easy thing. It's just 4 screws. It's the power supply. If you're not familiar with PCs, and we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about that stuff here. The power supply is, you know, the main thing that powers up the whole PC. And obviously, without that, nothing works. But in this particular small form factor case, we're just going to get this little power supply out of the way so that we can get in here and clean some stuff up. So we'll just move this off, tip it up over here to the side, and now we're going to have access to all this stuff down here. Now I'm going to take this out and put it in a different case. So really I can just take this guy completely out. So you unhook this guy, and you got another power connector in right here. And so we're going to get that and take it, unplug it. Now, a lot of people talk about static strips and things like that. And, you know, I've been doing PCs for a long time, and I don't really mess with that stuff too much. So it's and I've never had too much of a problem. So, but there you have it. It's out. Okay. So we got all these little connections here, connect to this thing here, and so let's just go ahead and just unplug these. We'll look up this motherboard again to replug these in the correct way. It's not that hard to figure out anyway. And so that connects there. This is connected to the. Here is a USB connector, and this is the HD audio connector. So now we got a couple screws here that we can take out. In order to get this motherboard out. Here's another one. Kick it out. And then I think we got one more. And for a mini ITX, that's probably going to be all that you're going to have to worry about. Now, sometimes getting a hold of these screws can be a little bit difficult. I have another little screwdriver that has a magnet on the end of it, and you can use that to pull up your screws if you need to sometimes. So let's go ahead and just pull this guy out. All right, there we have it. That guy is out of the box. I'm going to lower the camera down just a little bit here and let us, so we can see stuff a little bit more closely. As we go into this operation, and fix up my light here just a little bit, so we got a little bit more light on the operation. All right, so we're going to take this off, because if you look at this, you're going to see that it's kind of a little bit dirty. So let's just go ahead and take these off, so we can take it and clean this guy out. And I'll show you how dirty this is once this comes off. If you can see that, that is really, really dirty. So you might be asking yourself, what do I do about that? Well, you know, you can just take and you can clean a lot of that stuff off just like that, and see how just doing a little bit of wiping this stuff off will go a long ways. But this is pretty nasty, honestly. This, like I said, this is a used computer. It was maybe not in the greatest environment. You definitely don't want to use water and stuff on this, so you could use alcohol, a couple of things, can of air and things like that. A toothbrush works really well, anything like that. But just for starters, I'm just gonna wipe just wipe this stuff off here, and that's gonna go a long way, to be honest, cleaning it. Like I said, this is a used computer. It's had better life. Been through a lot. Apparently, wherever this thing lived for the longest time was a pretty dirty place. So you see a lot of that stuff in there. All right. Now we can take a can of air and blow in there. Now I'm gonna mute the mic, just because, you know, it sucks. Okay, you can't see it, but there's a lot of dirt around here, probably, just for me doing that. I'll take it, set this off to the side, and you can see some of that just nasty dirt just sitting right there. So we're gonna just all right. So, back to this guy. Now, if you notice, that one of these spaces came out. Now, really, these spaces are just in there to keep the fan off of this. So I think we'll be fine if we just go ahead and place that in there. But it's a lot cleaner now than it was. Certainly should be able to get a lot of airflow through there. Hopefully I didn't get anything in my drink. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy. So first, let's take the 4 screws out of it. Set them off over here. Take a look and see how dirty this is. You probably can't see it, but it is fairly dirty. And that will create a lot of noise when it comes to the sound noise. Like I said, I would, if you're worried about stuff, spend some time cleaning these things. It will go a long ways to making things run quieter, smooth, things like that. This guy's dirty. All right, so I'm going to just scrape some of this stuff off. And just scrape it a little bit, just to get some of this junk off there, because it is caked on. Honestly, if you're wanting this to be something you used for long term, you may consider just replacing the fan and the heatsink on this thing, or really taking it apart and doing some cleaning operations. I'm just going to kind of hit it nice and easy, just because this is really more about testing this out and taking this old AMD and seeing how I think it's a A6 350 something like that, and with 8 gigs of RAM, we'll see how it runs on TrueNas 12, even if it does even run on TrueNas 12. TrueNas 12, by the way, is on beta right now, so we haven't actually got a full release of that yet. So, oh boy, let's see what we got here. Man, oh man, oh man, this is nasty stuff. Just this little bit of cleaning here. These fans, after a while, man, I can't believe how much dirt is on here. Where this must have been in a really crappy environment. And like I said, if you're here and you feel like asking me a question about PCs, servers, managed IT services, or anything like that, go ahead. I am available to answer your questions as I go ahead and work on this stuff. Just to give you, what have I been up to lately? Well, as you know, everything's going on in the world, and networking groups and stuff like that, and people are still trying to do that. We're doing hybrid meetings and stuff, and people are still struggling with those. So, it's not that it can be done. You just have to put the effort into it. I'm learning. I'm doing some social media learning now, and right now we're learning about ManyChat, which, if you haven't heard about ManyChat, that's a pretty cool product. Basically, if you want to use Facebook Messenger and send out broadcast messages and things like that, you can do that. Oh man, look at all that. That's just for me scraping this off here. So let me go ahead and wipe that down. Wipe this off. Oh man. All right. Give me just a second here and we are going to pop up this other thing here. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and put this back together. I'm gonna put this guy here as a spacer back in here. That's going to be a tough one because CPU fan. All right. Anyway, I'm back at what I was saying. So, like I said, we're learning ManyChat, and in my marketing classes I'm doing, that's awesome fun there. You guys may have noticed, like if you're up in there, the Cloudflare had a outage last week, and that was pretty crazy stuff. Also in the news, NVIDIA is possibly looking to purchase ARM CPU properties. So that is pretty cool. So if you are a big fan of ARM, I'm a big fan of NVIDIA. You know, maybe that's a good partner, maybe partnership, maybe it isn't. I gotta say, I don't think that it will make it. If I had to guess, it's probably going to get shot down from the regulations, because AMD, Intel, NVIDIA is a pretty big chip manufacturer, and that puts all the other ARM processors and the other processors and stuff in kind of a disadvantage. So I kind of think that even if they did want to buy it, it wouldn't go through, but who knows. Plug that CPU fan back in there. And that's sort of clean. Let's go take a look at where we're going to put this. So I'll be back. I'm thinking that I'm going to probably put this in this box. It's an old computer here. Let me open this up. So we can put 4 drives in there. Does look like it has some cages over here for 2.5-inch drives, which might be a good option. But it's also kind of compact. I'm not 100% sure that I want to put it all in here. This is a really cheap case, by the way. There's not a lot of room there. It's pretty heavy. I have some hard drives in here already, so let's see what I got in here. Oh, man. Come on out of there. Okay. Yeah, some 3 terabyte Seagate trash drives. I can go ahead and put that in. So I don't know. What do you think? This one? I got this option. Of course, I do have a case for the. Man, I don't know if I have like a cage right there for that 2.5-inch drive. So that might be a deal breaker, because I do want to put a 2.5-inch SSD probably as the OS drive on this, but maybe we'll just use a flash drive as the OS drive. I do have this one, this computer here. It's a little bit bigger. Looks like, let's see. Open this guy up. Look at that. If I get this all into, oh, lost the camera. Can you tell that I'm pretty new at this live streaming thing? Let me try that again. Let me just raise the camera up, because I think everybody will be happier if we get a little bit higher range on this stuff. Oh my goodness. I hope everyone is laughing at this stuff. Now we got my operation messed up here. Let's see what I can get it back in, get her back into formation here. So, like, if you're new to live streaming like myself, it's not that as easy as you would think, especially if you want to do certain things. All right, let's see what we got here. So you notice how it wants to tip over. That's because I've got this extra light up here. I think I'm just going to take that baby off. This whole disaster. I'm still here, people. Trust me. It's just life is gotten in the way of bear with me, people. Bear with me. Oh, there we go. All right, let's try this again. What am I seeing here? I've lost the camera altogether, it looks like. Here, by the way, is what I was weighing it down. Okay. Let's just see what's going on with the camera here. Camera, PC, camera. Okay. This is the little camera that I'm using, and we're not working here. Let's see what's going on here. Well, that's a giant fail. If you're watching, feel free to talk to me while I try to figure out what is wacky going on here with this guy. So maybe let's just it's just coming up gray now. Interesting. I'm going to delete it. Remove. Yes. Add. Video capture. Hey, oh. Here we go. Custom 1080p. Hey, now you can see everything in here. Sorry to, let's go ahead and put this guy back in. Wow. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Let me, hey, that's a big overview. So let's see if we can go ahead and just adjust that stuff a little bit. Oops. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So if you've been doing OBS, you probably know how to do some of this stuff. And you know, I'm learning. Look how that took a straight line here. Camera tilted, huh? There we go. All right. Hey, everybody, we're back. I don't know if that's exactly how I had it before, but boy, it is something. So, as I was saying, let's go ahead and take a look at that other box. Here it is. Look at that. So one thing that's nice about this guy is it does have a lot of slots. So if I put it in here, and we're going to go ahead and attempt to raise this again so you can see better. Inside of here. There it is. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Now, that being said, let's go back down here to a little bit lower angle so you can see. And yep, I can take the top off of this thing. So I'm definitely going to have to work on my setup here as far as camera angles and things like that's concerned if I'm going to do much PC builds. But I do appreciate you guys sticking along for the ride as we learn this stuff. So we'll take out these screwdrivers, we'll take the side off, and we'll take a look and see what we have inside here. T-brake. This one's got a lot of space in here. So you can see there's a lot of space in here. This whole tray comes out the side, pops out, and one of the things that's nice about this box, I'll show you, is the trays. I'm just going to pull one out here. You set it to the side here. Set this guy to the side. And the trays in here are nice because you can put a 2.5 inch drive or a 3.5 inch drive in this one little tray. So that is awesome. Now, I think it's just like, man, this camera seems really blurry to me. So I don't know if you guys think it's blurry. Let me know what you think. And maybe just because I've got it so zoomed in. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and stick it in that machine there. All right, let's see what we get. Let's see if you guys like this a little better. Alright, so we've got here and here, and I just want to pull this whole big unit out of here to get it out of the way. I've got a lot of wires and stuff in here in this. Let's just go ahead and get them out of there. These are SATA cables. We're gonna have to call this part 1 or something. I am not making a whole lot of speed progress on this operation. That's okay. It's all about the fun, right? I want to rename this. Getting started. Oh gosh. I really want to take this and move this over a bit. Let's see what we got here. pull this out. I really kind of wish I had more room. Got those two wires out of the way. I feel like I'm caught on another one here. Let's see what is holding this in. I think I know. That's what's holding it in. Yes, sir. There's our deal. Now I've got this power supply stuff all shoved in here. I need to get out of here first. Boy, do we need more light, don't we? Sure do. That helps. Finally, right? You can take a look in there. You can see the SATA connections in the back plane. And there's just a lot of cables in this guy. Down here in this bottom is where we're going to put that motherboard. First, like I said, we got to get all this stuff out of the way. I could probably leave this power supply in. So a lot of this is, oh yeah, look at this. So the reason why you don't want to use twist ties like this is because I learned this the hard way. Twist ties are metal inside, and these little things, if they eventually will twist and break off, and then you got a piece of wire short-circuiting your motherboard. So don't use those. As tempting as it is. Sorry, we'll get rid of all the ones that are in here on this old cabinet. Pull the wires away. Really, right here, we want to stick the motherboard. You remember that guy? This guy. So we need this back plane here, which is in that old case right here, and we're just going to pop this guy right out. this comes right over here, right? So you just basically pop this thing in the bottom. And there you have a motherboard in there. Now we gotta screw it in there and all that good stuff. But there's not a whole lot more to putting the motherboard inside there. Okay. The other thing you want to make sure you don't do is tighten all the screws up before you get them all in. So typically I just kind of get them started, and then don't tighten them down until you get at least all of them in there, because you may need to adjust it a little bit. And there you have it. That's all there is to getting that motherboard in there. We've got to hook up, power up, and a few other things. You've got all these little guys here. And if you read these things, they're going to have words on them. Like for example, this one here. And now it's not going to be likely that you can read that, but it says power switch. You have hard drive LED, power LED, reset switch. And so these will all go on the motherboard on some of these pins that are in here. And it's kind of really tough to show you that, so I'm not going to even attempt that. And then you got all these power for the fans too, so you just plug those into the motherboard. HD audio, there's an audio connector on here. Basically, you just look up the motherboard manufacturer and plug them in correctly. That's pretty much all there is to it. However, I will say this is about all the time I have for you today. Let me just flip back over this and get us back in. So that's all the time I have for today. We're running up on that 1 hour mark, and I was hoping I'd get a little bit more done, but obviously, things didn't go exactly as planned. But stay tuned. If you like this, I'm going to do more of these things and get this stuff kind of figured out. Get my setup a little bit better, and practice and start doing some of these lives. What I'd like to do is do lives, work on these things, and answer questions. Like, so if you have IT questions, it could be anything. What do I do about my Wi-Fi? What do you recommend Wi-Fi hardware? Or if you're looking for a server, what do I do about email? Anything like that. Happy to answer you. And I wanted to get TrueNas installed on this, but it's taken a lot longer than I anticipated. Doing the live stream and everything. So next stream, I'm going to go ahead and probably pick this project back up again, and we will finish her up and start installing TrueNas and check out TrueNas 12. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week.